You are too much for me, ass. You son of a horse and bitch. I wish I knew how to quit you.
Then why don't you just let me be, huh? It's because of you, Jack, that I'm like this. Nothing. I'm nowhere. Oh. Get the fuck off me!
Okay. So, I've got a question for you guys. Who has 2 thumbs and saw this coming from outer fucking space?
This guy! Too soon?
So it's been about 9 months since my last video on Big Hero 6, the series, and after that video, I said I was pretty much done with this show. And I still am. I knew from the moment Season 2 ended, this show was not going to improve in any way. And after checking on the show again out of sheer morbid curiosity, I was goddamn right about that. But I still wasn't gonna make a video about it initially because from what I saw around in the fandom of the show, many fans have finally thrown in the towel with this one. When Season 2 premiered, fans were really excited about it. But when Season 3 premiered, fans were, and I'm quoting a comment I read from one of them, cautiously optimistic, which can only mean one thing. They were scared. They wanted so badly for this season to be better. They wanted so badly for the things they wanted. They wanted more Tadashi. They wanted closure for Liv and Diane. They wanted something that would give them hope that the show could be saved in some way. But we all knew better, didn't we? I honestly do feel really bad for the fans who loved this show from the beginning. By now, it seems that they finally realized the utter empty shell the show has become. I wanted to like the show too. I know you guys don't believe me, but it's true. I just saw the warning signs from the very beginning. I tried to warn you, but you didn't believe me. Why didn't you believe me? I've made 3 videos on this show. Have they all been perfect? No. Would I go back and change a few things? Absolutely. But in terms of my overall thoughts, not much has changed really. I still think this show really pales in comparison to all of the other shows that aired throughout its lifetime. It feels like a product of a bygone era that's been dead since the late 2000s. It had no sense of identity, it was cheap looking, and it was riddled with behind the scenes controversy. But again, I've already made videos about all that stuff, and I'm not going to go over it all again. There's no point. I'm also not going to make a video solely about Carmi, because that just sounds so pointless and stupid. I've already shared my thoughts on her, so why waste my time and yours? And I'm also not bringing back the How Would I Fix series. Yeah, sorry everybody, that was just an experiment that I've just completely and utterly lost interest in doing anymore. I'm sorry for those who wanted to see me finish that stuff, but sorry, I just don't care anymore, sorry. So you're probably wondering, why am I making a video about Season 3 when I just said I wasn't going to make a video about Season 3? Well, frankly, it's your fault! You're to blame for all of this! Yeah, throughout my entire YouTube career, I have never had so many people request for one singular thing as much as Season 3 before. It's honestly kind of amazing. This didn't happen with any of the Nora movies, the Land for Time sequels, and not at the same levels of the Disney sequels. So many requests, so I guess I should honor y'all's request. Oh, Razor, you're so soulless. Just admit it. You're only doing this for the views. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Yeah, I'm uploading a video on YouTube hoping no one watches it. Dumbass. Let's be honest, though. We all knew this video was gonna happen. You can't just leave an animal that you accidentally hit with your car suffer on the side of the road. You gotta go and finish it off. And since I pretty much have a monopoly on Big Hero 6 related reviews on YouTube in general, that means it's my job to get the rock. Fuck. Big Hero 6, the series, Season 3, is so vastly different from the rest of the show. Forget being more like the movie. This season has problems being more like the actual show itself. But this time, you can't even blame Bob and Mark for that. It's no secret that Disney doesn't care about its properties. Unless you're Marvel, some Star Wars, or from either of the animation studios, chances are Disney doesn't give a rat's ass about you. And even then, if you're an animated movie from the 90s that was insanely popular and successful, then chances are Disney still doesn't care about you. New Star Wars trilogy? Yeet. Disney XD? Colby. Live action Disney remakes? At least they can't suffer anymore. So, for this season, executives from Disney came in, noticed the very low ratings this show had, and decided that they were going to take over. Not that it matters, because this is it. This is over. The final season. It's finally over! For now, anyway.
Boo! You stink!
Now, I'm well aware of the new Baymax show that was announced not too long ago. There's not a lot of information out yet at this time, so I can't really give my thoughts about it yet. One thing I do know about it, though, is that this show is officially replacing this one, meaning that all of this is no longer canon. That's already a huge improvement, in my opinion. As for the final season, though, yeah, you can tell they didn't care. It was a season they greenlit way too early, and now that the money's already been spent, they have to make do with what they have. So basically, Bob and Mark had effectively no real control over this season. The show was completely out of their hands at this point. And with only 10 episodes to finish the whole thing, 19 if you want to be technical, but we'll go into that, I gotta give them credit here. This would be a tough situation for any creator. There's also the other major factor in the show having low ratings, and it has nothing to do with the show itself. Cable is pretty much dead. For some reason, Disney still holds on to Disney Channel and Disney XD, and I don't really get why. They've gotten rid of it pretty much everywhere else in the world, save for in the US, so why does it still exist? It's pretty obvious that cable TV is effectively on its way out the door. Streaming services are the future, mainly because they're just a lot more convenient and there's lots more options with them. Why wait for a showing at 7 o'clock p.m. that I could possibly miss when I can just look it up at 2:30 a.m. and watch it then? Why rush a bathroom break in order to avoid missing anything good when I can just pause it and even rewind it if I need to? You fucking kids have it so goddamn easy nowadays, it's not even funny. It's no secret that Disney doesn't really market their TV shows very well either, and with cable being taken over by streaming services, something that Disney themselves do understand, it only makes sense that this show failed ratings-wise. It's not just because over time people were beginning to lose interest in it, Disney just dropped the ball, and all that behind-the-scenes crap really didn't help out at all. Again, if the creators and animators can get away with stuff like this, it really makes you wonder what was going on upstairs. And now it seems that we know the answer. So, 3 major changes were made to the show's format in order to try to improve the show, if you can say that's what they were doing. Number 1, no more overarching stories. That's right, the last 10 episodes will solely be their own independent stories. There's still continuity, and they still bring up things that happen in the show, but yeah, it's pretty much purely episodic now. Number 2, no more 22-minute episodes. Save for the first episode of the season, every episode is now only 11 minutes long. Huh, kind of like a certain other superhero show that's only 11 minutes long. Huh. So, even though there are officially only 10 episodes in the season, technically there are 19 episodes. Still less than the previous 2 seasons, though. And 3, and you're gonna love this one, a shift towards a more comedic direction. Yeah, the show is now going to try and be funny. Wasn't it already, though? Oh dear God, this season's gonna make me cringe, isn't it?
Well, that ends right now. It's not safe to trust Sparkles. It's time to start being a little less honey and a lot more lemon.
Oh God! Now, here's the thing, and I know this is gonna be weird coming from me. Initially, this isn't that bad of an idea. Yeah, I know.
I'm just as surprised as you are.
But remember what I said in the last video for this show? How this show was trying so hard to be so many different things at once, and how it didn't really have a clear identity yet? Well, despite all of this, the show officially does have an identity now. I know, right? How weird is that? The show has finally stopped trying to be a bunch of different things all at once, and is now focusing on only one direction. And they've chosen to solely focus on the Teen Titans Go route. Yeah, I didn't say it was a good direction, but I did say the show needed to do this in order to improve, so can I really get mad at the show for doing what I asked it to? Even if in the end it didn't really help much? So, with this new change in direction, I can't really review this season the same way I reviewed the last two. Since things like overarching story, character development, continuity, animation quality, and other things no longer really matter, what can I talk about really? Well, since this was a really highly requested video, I guess I can briefly go over every episode. Yeah, I guess I can do that. I'll give each and every episode about 1 or 2 minutes each. You know, hopefully this won't be another 90-minute video like last time. Sounds good? Sounds good. Let's do it.
I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down.
Number 1, the Hyperpotamus Pizza Partytorium. Jesus Christ, did Fall Out Boy write this song? Well, this episode kind of sucks. Just kind of, though. It was pretty obvious the writers were expecting for Hardlight to become the season's new villain, but because the executives stepped in, they decided, nah, fuck that. Make this annoying hamburger robot the main villain. That's a good step into a comedic direction. Yeah, I haven't talked much about Noodle Burger Boy in these videos, have I? Honestly, there really wasn't much to say yet. He was just another villain of the week that honestly didn't matter that much. He was here and there in Season 1 and barely in Season 2 at all, as I've talked about before. But now that he's the main threat, I can safely say he sucks. Yeah, you might as well have made Mater the main character of a Cars movie if you wanted to make an annoying side character into the main character. Oh, wait! I think his design is okay, but his voice is so annoying. He's definitely better as a background character that's used in small doses, not the main fucking villain. So in this season, Noodle Burger Boy kidnaps 3 other robots and makes them into his robot family. You're probably wondering where Trina is though, right? Well, too bad! Now we have a hippo, a mushroom, and a panda. All of them food mascots. So, basically Five Nights at Freddy's, only 7 years too goddamn late.
I need a cookie!
Was that the bite of 87?
Also, while all of that's going on, now that everyone's graduated, off screen mind you, Hero and Fred are scared that all of them are gonna leave Big Hero 6. And the whole time, I'm just sitting there thinking, is Hero and Fred fucking 5? Do they actually think they'll just leave after everything they've been through? Like, have some fucking faith in your friends, guys. Or maybe just talk to them like you should do normally by now. Oh, that's right, I forgot. The writers don't care anymore. There's this one scene where one of the robots gets kidnapped, and Hero and Baymax just kind of watch. Like, you guys know you can still save it, right? Nothing's stopping you from chasing after it. Just fly. Fly, damn it! Also, Fred gets crushed by a Ferris wheel and should be fucking dead. Big Hero 6 always had a big emphasis on science. And if I know anything about science, it's that when a giant Ferris wheel falls on you, you fucking die. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Comedic direction. Give me a fucking break. So yeah, in the end, Hero is told by his friends that they'll never leave him because he needed to be told this because he's got the brain of a fucking hamster in the show. Overall, not god-awful, but definitely not good. 4 out of 10, I guess. Also, the final full 22-minute episode. I guess this means the suffering ends quicker from now on. Good. Mayor for a day. Richardson Mole fucking sucks. Yeah, it's pretty obvious from the beginning this episode was going to be the boy who cried wolf story, with Richardson Mole using Big Hero 6 for rather pointless things at first, but then when an actual threat shows up and kidnaps him, they don't show up because they're fed up with him. But oh no, these writers wouldn't write something that predictable. We deserve better than that. The fans deserve better than that. So when Big Hero 6 doesn't show up to save him, Richardson Mole decides to join the villains in order to get revenge. Because that's a great lesson you want to teach kids, right? If you fuck around with people too much and they've had enough and abandon you, then be sure to go out of your way to fuck their shit up. Honestly, it doesn't surprise me at this point. This show has always had this pretty vindictive, mean-spirited tone to it. If a character was supposed to learn something, they're either too stupid to learn it or too dickish to care. It doesn't surprise me one bit that Richardson Mole's betraying them because that's how this show has always functioned since the beginning. Also, a contest that makes people mayor for a day? Seriously? Even Powerpuff Girls wasn't that fucking stupid. Oh, and by the end of the episode, Fred makes it so that giant robot monsters can walk the streets freely, killing hundreds of people because comedic direction! Yeah, just expect the show to literally not give a fuck anymore. Ugh, 4 to 10, moving on. Number 3, the dog craze of summer. So, here's an idea for a plot in a superhero show. Our main character, dog sits.
Fuck yeah!
Yes! Honestly though, this episode isn't that bad actually. It's fine. There really ain't much else to say other than that. Big Hero 6 dog sits a few dogs, and that's really about it. It's nothing special, it's nothing awful, it's exactly how I described. Honestly, it'd be pretty hard to fuck up such a simple episode, although I'm sure these writers would have found a way if they actually tried. Admittedly though, there was actually a pretty funny moment in this episode.
Bernie, just stay there, boy.
And he is gone.
That is literally the only time this show ever made me laugh when it had the intention of making me laugh. So I'll give this episode that much. Other than that though, it's whatever. 5 out of 10, don't care anymore. Number 4, trading chips. I don't understand why on earth they gave Fred his own version of Baymax. Like, was Baymax not enough for you guys? Did you seriously have so little ideas for Baymax that you needed to make a smaller, more annoying version of him? Really? Because that's all he is. I don't care if he's sad that his feelings got hurt, because here's the thing. They're robots! Baymax doesn't have emotions, so why do all of the other robots do? That's actually a really weird thing when you actually think about it. Meanwhile, there's a subplot where Mochi gets out and Hero and Incast go and look for him. That plot's fine, I guess. It's okay. I do like how they bring back the bot fighter for this plot, but the main story is just pretty boring. I guess it has a nice message in the end, but that dance scene was actually super fucking cringe, so I'm giving this one a 4 out of 10 as well. Number 5, Mini Noodle Burger Max. Seriously, who the fuck comes up with these names? Seriously. Outside of that, this episode's fine. Big Hero 6 and the robots all get trapped underground and have to work together in order to get out. You'd figure this is where the show ends, since it's treating the conflict between the two groups like something out of Teletubbies, but we can't have a season 3 with only 5 episodes, can we? No. Instead, just have Baymax and Noodle Burger Boy steal Steamer's big drill and use it to save everyone. Yay. Only for Big Hero 6 to trap them down there again. Like, dude, what the fuck? That wasn't very heroic of these guys to just trap them down there like that. Yeah, outside of that serious what the fuck moment, this one's fine. 5 out of 10, won't ever watch it again. Number 6, A Friendly Face. I also haven't talked that much about Aleister Crate either, have I? I honestly hate what they've done to him in this show. In the movie, he wasn't really evil, he was just a douchebag, but a competent one at that. You still believe that he was a successful businessman who truly knew what he was doing. In the show, though, he's just a fucking idiot. He acts more like a giant man-child most of the time, and it's just fucking annoying. So in this episode, Aleister Crate wants to make shuttles for everybody, but the mayor of San Francisco, who I assume didn't win a Mayor of the Day contest, cheater, doesn't want them because she doesn't trust Crate. This ties back to the end of Season 2, where Trina made those garbage trucks that turned into heat generators that were supposed to melt the city. Yeah, that part of her plan was pretty stupid too, but fuck, look how long that video was. Cray didn't build those trucks, though. He simply bought those from her. What happened in the Season 2 finale wasn't really Cray's fault, so she can't blame him for that. But whatever, we need more comedy! So, Honey Lemon is brought on board to make the bus seem nicer. So, she paints a face on there, and Hero gives it her personality. Because she wasn't one-dimensional enough, now let's just have her be an actual robot! And speaking of robots, Noodle Burger Boy's family tries to kidnap the bus with the mayor on board to add it to their family. Hero and Honey Lemon are able to stop them, but the mayor decides against the buses anyway. Despite the fact that, once again, it wasn't Cray's fault what happened, so why are you being such a bitch? Oh, and to end the episode, Honey Lemon gets to keep the bus and take it home. And I mean literally, she takes it home. She's able to fit an entire bus in her apartment. Is it becoming more and more clear that the writers are just giving up at this point? I mean, shit, why would they? It is the final season after all, so why bother trying? Yeah, those schmucks working on DuckTales' final season, they're just wasting their time. 3 out of 10, don't make me hate buses the way I hate moose. Number 7, Big Chibi Six. Carmi is fucking back. Well, I sure hope someone picks up that phone. That what? Because I fucking call it. Satisfied? So this is probably the closest thing we're gonna get to a third fanfiction episode, isn't it? Good! Of course Carmi came back. Are you actually surprised? So in this episode, Carmi's become kind of famous for her fanfiction because that would totally happen in the real world. Totally. But Hardlight uses her fanfiction to try and fight Big Hero 6 because, well, shit, we forgot to give him a reason for why he wants to fight Big Hero 6, didn't we? And of course they're chibis because why the fuck wouldn't they be chibis? Unless we actually wanted the audience to not cringe, but whatever. In the end, Carmi is able to hack into the chibis and turn them against Hardlight. He's arrested and that's about that. We never find out who he really was or what he was after, although to be fair, he did get kind of gypped in the same way Rose did in Rise of Skywalker, so what are you gonna do? Also, at the very least, Hero and Carmi do not get together in the end. So at least we have that going for us. And since everything is officially no longer canon, that means that Carmi technically never existed either. Goodbye, you fucking pain in the ass. There is, however, one thing that I do need to bring up.
Oh, wait! What about Megan?
Good fucking question! Where is Megan? Both her and her father have just completely disappeared from the show altogether. I know I made a joke in the last video about these two having their roles be reduced greatly, but I wasn't expecting these two to just straight up disappear. As hated as they were, this is not how you deal with this situation. You have to write them out of the show. You can't just have them disappear out of thin air like they got Thanos snapped. That's just lazy. I know you guys are used to being that, but seriously, just one line of dialogue that says they chose to move away or something is all that was needed. I would have accepted that. Sure, that would have sucked too, but it'd be way better than this. You guys couldn't even answer the question you yourselves asked. What the fuck is that? Overall, fuck Carmi, but at least I know for sure this time, she's truly gone for good. That alone would give this episode a 10 out of 10, but yeah, 3 out of 10, your fanfiction shit. Number 8, Cobra and Mongoose. Well, shit. This episode was actually pretty good. Yeah, I actually like this one. I'm still kind of salty, though, that Fred's butler got a backstory as opposed to our main fucking characters, but I digress. Having him be a spy and have an archenemy kind of makes sense, and Cobra isn't that bad of a villain for the short time we had her. I also do like the idea that Heathcliff is sort of a father figure to Fred whenever his parents aren't around. If it were up to me, I'd never have the parents around, period, but I do like that Heathcliff genuinely does care about Fred and would do anything for him. It's actually kind of nice. Nothing else to say about this one. It's actually good. 7 out of 10, am fucking shook. Number 9, Better Off Fred. This episode's okay too, I suppose. Fred meets a girl, but Richardson Mole messes with both of them, so Fred has to pretend to be something he's not, and I think you can figure out what happens next. He learns he should be himself, yada yada yada, you've seen it before. But okay is so much better than the shit that this show has put out, so I'm counting my blessings. 5 out of 10, game over. Number 10, Big Hero Battle. If there was ever an episode that made you realize just how fucking awful the people of San Francisco are, then this is it. This episode was fucking horrible, so forgive me if I spend a little more time on it than the others. So, in this episode, a fucking K-pop group comes to San Francisco and want to become superheroes. Big Hero 6 literally could give a shit less about this and just ignore them, but the K-pop group called 42Sing challenges them to a hero battle. The one who saves the city the most gets to stay. Big Hero 6, again, tells them no, they don't care, but nobody listens to them and the challenge is on. So, let me try and explain just how shallow and stupid the citizens of this city are. Whenever Big Hero 6 defeats a villain, the news films them doing it. But then, 42Sing, what the fuck does that even mean, literally walks into frame, says they did it, and everyone just fucking believes them. You heard me. Big Hero 6 is literally filmed saving the city, and the K-pop group is just given the credit because they say so. That means that either these people are too fucking stupid to see the truth literally happening right in front of them, or they're so shallow and vindictive that they're perfectly fine with the K-pop group lying about being heroes. Oh, but they're a K-pop group, so fuck it! I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but where is Donald Trump when you need him to call something fake news? Because this has his fucking name written all over it. Fucking assholes. Again, I will ask. Why does Big Hero 6 protect this city when everyone in it is an ungrateful dick? Big Hero 6 is to this city what Johnny Depp was to Amber Heard. Just a horribly toxic relationship that needed to end before it began. Oh, and to wrap up the absolute shallowness, in the end, when Big Hero 6 ends up saving the K-pop group from Steamer, they take credit for that too!
You're welcome! You're welcome.
For what?
For when we saved you by distracting the old man with our posing.
And good looks.
Fucking pricks! Oh, but it's okay. Big Hero 6 doesn't care at all. They're more than fine with being completely disrespected by the people they risk their lives to protect. Why wouldn't they be? They're heroes! Also, you guys ain't fooling me. Did you guys actually think that you could get away with ripping off the Blue Eye Shining Dragon's design for the K-pop group's dragon? Are you fucking serious? And, oh, speaking of ripping off, and I can't believe I didn't notice this sooner, Karmi's design is just a rip-off of Kai's design from Ben 10 Omniverse. Even her fucking design sucks because you lazy assholes couldn't create something more original. Oh, but I shouldn't be surprised by this considering how you all were perfectly fine with stealing fan art and calling it your own. Yeah, how about you guys do the world of animation a favor and get the fuck out of it? This episode was fucking trash. Absolutely atrocious. It's easily one of the worst, if not the worst episode in the entire show. 1 out of 10, because a 0 is literally nothing. And unfortunately for me, this episode does in fact exist. Number 11, Go-Go the Woe-Root. The fuck is that word mean? This episode's not too bad, actually. The scientist, whom I've never talked about because, honestly, she never really mattered, is being threatened by somebody, and so it's up to Go-Go to protect her, while Hiro and Baymax figure out what's going on. I actually like how Go-Go begins to open up to the kids in this episode. You know, show more character than just her one-note personality. Yeah, I wish we got to see more of that, but it's over, and also no longer matters, so whatever. Better late than never, I guess. Hero's subplot is pretty meh, and the songs that Go-Go sings are honestly really cringy, but the ending and twist on who sent the threats is actually pretty wholesome. So, yeah, I'll give the episode a pass. 6 out of 10, would find a better song to listen to, though. Number 12, the new Nega Gloppy. So, in the last season, Nega Gloppy was created by Diane, simply because she was curious about Gloppy, I guess? Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty much a filler episode anyway. So basically, Nega Gloppy is the evil version of Gloppy. And I've said it before that I actually like Gloppy. He's one of the very few redeemable things about this show. But for some stupid reason, he and Honeylemon want to fix Nega Gloppy and try to make him normal. When he's a dangerous fucking monster that almost destroyed the city. Everybody points out how stupid that is, but they don't care because it's not right to lock up a monster, no matter how dangerous it is. Yeah, I'm dead serious. Anyway, they managed to put an artificial brain inside of Nega Gloppy, and he's no longer a monster. Now he's just an asshole. So all they did was basically give a dangerous monster a superiority complex. And it ends about as well as you think it does. He tries to destroy the city. But oh no, if we lock him away again, his feelings will get hurt. Fuck his feelings! He tried to destroy the whole city! Seriously, why does this show have to dumb itself down to a Teletubbies level sometimes? Seriously, it really pisses me off. 3 out of 10, Law doesn't care about your feelings. Number 13, Debased. So, Fred's a fucking idiot. I know that's not surprising, but still. Fred opens up a spam email in the gang's secret lair and causes a virus to spread across the lair. To say this episode about viruses had pretty bad timing is a bit of an understatement. But to be honest, it's mostly just annoying. I honestly hate all of this over-the-top medieval shit in this episode. They just never shut up. It's fucking awful. But if they don't stop making jokes, they wouldn't be going into a comedic direction, now would it? Also, no one notices the giant robot going crazy here? Not one civilian? Oh yeah, I forgot how stupid the people of this city are. Nothing else to say about this one. 4 out of 10, send it to the lion's den. Number 14, the Misfit. This episode is so pointless. With only 3 episodes officially left, trying to build up a mentorship with Hiro and this random kid is just pointless. I don't care about this annoying kid, nor do I care about Hiro tutoring him. Also, Noodle Burger Boy and his family try to take over the school because they want to make a school for robots. Yeah, it's stupid. I have one serious question, though. I really do. Why doesn't Big Hero 6 just destroy Noodle Burger Boy? He's been a threat to the city for 3 seasons now, and yet for whatever reasons, our heroes can't just smash him. And it's not like Big Hero 6 are incapable of destroying robots. So, what's the big deal? And if you're going to bring up that it wouldn't be right for whatever stupid reason, what fucking reason is there not to do it? He's just a robot. I mean, if Baymax gets destroyed, nothing's stopping Hiro from just rebuilding him. So why can't they do the same with Noodle Burger Boy and his friends? It'd just be a shit ton easier in my opinion. As for this episode, it's mostly just boring. I don't care. 4 out of 10, you're expelled. Number 15, Return to Sycorax. Big Hero 6 fights monstrous tacos. It's as fucking stupid as it sounds. Why is Sycorax still around? You'd figure they would have torn this place down already. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Everyone in San Francisco was a fucking dumbass. Silly me! So Aleister Crowley bought the Sycorax building just because, and Hero assumes he's in danger just because. Like, there's been no monsters since Diane got arrested. What makes you think there are monsters there, Hero, you idiot? But because Fred's stupid, big shock I know, he puts tacos into a machine that still works just because, and taco monsters are created just because. So I bet you were hoping for some closure on what happened to Liv after she was rescued. Or maybe you wanted to find out what happened to her clone. Well, too bad. You're gonna have to settle for taco monsters. Ugh, they don't even kill the monsters for some reason. Seriously, why is Big Hero 6 so fucking passive? They're fucking tacos! You can't hurt a taco, just kill it already! And for those of you who are gonna say it's a kid's show and they can't be violent, first off, it's a fucking taco! Get over it! Secondly, Star literally melted a person in a kid's show on the same channel. I don't want to fucking hear that it's a kid's show excuse because it's not a fucking excuse. So yeah, this episode sucks. 2 out of 10. Where's the lamb sauce? Number 16, A Fresh Sparkles. This one's fine, I guess. I honestly really hesitate to say that it's fine because we're so close to the end at this point, and I am just completely checked out by this point. I guess this one isn't that bad. Somehow Mr. Sparkles just knows their secret identities. Somehow. Like, I honestly don't know how that happened, but the writer said fuck it, so I'm saying fuck it too. Mr. Sparkles is now a good guy, but Honey Lemon doesn't trust it. We get a JoJo's reference because that's hip with the kids nowadays, but in the end, it's revealed that he's actually been good this whole time. Who fucking cares? 4 out of 10, I don't care for JoJo. Number 17, Noodle Burger Ploy. Man, it looks like I'm not the only one who hates Fred because, wow, this episode almost makes you feel bad for him. Almost. So, in this episode, Fred gets captured by the robots, and they build a copycat in his place, hoping to find and destroy Big Hero 6's base. Turns out, despite how obvious that it's not him, nobody seems to realize that it's not actually him. Good to know that everyone's an idiot whenever it's convenient for the plot. At this point, it's almost like the writers themselves know how bad Fred is as a character. Just an annoying fucking idiot with no charm whatsoever. Again, now would be a really good time to destroy the robots since they're all in one spot. It'd make protecting the city so much easier. Just saying! Anyway, this episode has just way too much of Fred being Fred. 3 out of 10, I want a refund. Number 18, Rayoki Knight. Did that name make you cringe? Well, I hope you're ready for more of that because Cray, this giant fucking CEO of a robotics company, is making a karaoke machine. And I have no fucking idea why. Also, the robots want to steal a soundwave gun that Cray has just because making things exist for a reason is hard. So, Cray literally just has a karaoke night at Craytech, and that's pretty much the whole episode. If you want really bad songs with really bad singing, then this is definitely the episode for you. Yeah, why do I get the feeling that this show wanted so badly to be like Phineas and Ferb, but it was nowhere near qualified to even attempt it? Also, what the fuck is that? Isn't Tall Girl her superhero name? So the people just know their identities now? So yeah, this one sucks too. 3 out of 10, get off the fucking stage. And finally, number 19, the Mascot Upshot. The final episode of the show. Honestly, I wasn't expecting this show to have a finale. I honestly thought this show would end with just a random episode that didn't do anything special, but I actually turned out to be wrong in this case. This show actually does wrap up the robots arc, and I call it an arc very loosely. So, Minimax is sent undercover to find the robots' secret hideout and discovers that the robots aren't really evil, they just want a family, which was super obvious from the very fucking beginning, even in Season 1. Why are they learning about this now in the final episode? Why am I even asking that question? Just stomach it, Razor. Just stomach it. It's almost over. So, Big Hero 6 ambushes the robots, but then Momikaze shows up and ambushes Big Hero 6. But then Momikaze betrays the robots because she and Hero had a deal. What the fuck was the point of that?
That's a triple double cross. I never thought I'd see one in my lifetime.
I fucking hate you. So the Obake chips are removed from the robots, but Hero decides to reprogram them so that they can both live and be a family. Also, Aunt Cass gets to keep them, which is weird because they're not hers. They're still robots, guys. They're property. And I'm pretty sure the people who either built or bought them are going to want them back. But whatever, that's the end of the episode, and the end of the show. Hero and Baymax, who were the main characters of both the movie and show, took a complete backseat in the finale. And Tadashi, Callahan, and Abigail were never brought up ever again. What a fucking shit show. Seriously, Tadashi was never brought up once. Not one fucking time in all of Season 3. How do you do that? It really goes to show that the writers just completely gave up in this last season. It's all over, so why even bother? Oh, I don't know, maybe so you'll have some goddamn dignity? You don't see the writers on DuckTales giving up just because their last season is coming up, do you? And what about Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? They knew their time was coming soon, but they didn't just give up. They went all out in the end and made one hell of a finale. As a matter of fact, there are a number of great shows that I would rather watch than this one. So how about we go over them real quick? Shall we? My Hero Academia. I don't even know how to explain to you guys just how good My Hero Academia is. With its unique setting, relatable characters, gorgeous animation, great storytelling, and amazing score, it really is kind of hard just to put into words how good this show really is. Sure, it still follows a lot of shonen cliches, and I will admit, the first season is nothing special. But I promise you, once you get to Season 2, it is all uphill from there. This show has a great way of making every character feel like they're the main character. Whenever they're in the spotlight, they get just about the perfect amount of spotlight, and it never feels like we're wasting time on them. From Todoroki's issues with his father, to Kirishima coming to grips with the limits of his quirk, to Uraraka fighting for her family, to Ida's commitment to his family name. Man, these guys aren't even the main characters. I can't give more away without going into spoilers, which I really don't want to do in this video because I really want you guys to watch this show. It's really spectacular. Again, once you get past Season 1, you are in for one hell of a ride. Season 5 premieres on March 27th, and I've never been more hyped for a show than I am for this one. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, yeah, this show takes some getting used to, admittedly. In terms of overarching story, this show definitely falls behind other Turtle adaptations in my opinion. But one thing this show definitely has on its side is ambition. What many people gave this show shit for when it first premiered was its depiction of Master Splinter, but that was eventually subverted into a genuinely tragic backstory that makes you fully understand why Splinter has become the man-rat that he starts off as in the beginning of the show. Splinter actually undergoes quite the character arc in the show, and it feels very genuine, helping this Splinter stand out from other versions who, from the start, are already wise, capable father figures / teachers. I've already gushed about this show's animation many times, and I'll do it again because it's absolutely amazing the things these people were able to accomplish. Also, to fix a mistake, Studio Trigger didn't make the show, Flying Bark Productions did. That was my mistake. I'm sorry. Thank you, Stone Free, for correcting me. Speaking of the animation, on a side note, one of the animators named Tom Barkle is making a fan animation where Aaron from Attack on Titan fights Vegeta, and it looks absolutely insane. You should go support him on Twitter. He's a fucking mad lad. I get why people were so turned off by this show at first, but I promise you, if you stick with it, you'll still get a pretty fun show in the end anyway. It may not be Avatar levels of good writing, but it's still a very funny show, it's insane to look at, and it still has the fun, great characters that have endured the test of time for all of these years. Kid Cosmic. Oh my god, Craig McCracken, can you do no wrong? That's right, from the same guy who gave us Powerpuff Girls, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and Wonder Over Yonder, we now have Kid Cosmic. A show with a brilliant comic book art style, wonderful characters, a great story with great life lessons thrown in, really funny writing, genuinely smart commentary, and also Tom Kenny voices one of the main characters. I fucking love this show! One of the things I love about this show is just how it plays around with the typical tropes of comic books. The main character, simply known as Kid, reads them all the time, and so he thinks that he feels that he knows how a hero is supposed to be like. But as the show goes on, he begins to learn that life is a lot more complicated than a comic book. There is no definitive way for something to be, and on the journey, he learns what it means to be a true hero, not a real hero. This show does a fantastic job of subverting these tropes and doing something really unique with them, all while at the same time having a large cast of great, memorable characters. Just look at these designs and how distinct they all look. It looks so good! Seriously guys, I'm gonna have to come back to this show for a full video because this won't do it justice. Just believe me when I say it is fantastic. Craig truly has outdone himself this time, and that's saying a lot. It's only got 10 episodes so far, but Season 2 has been greenlit, and I cannot wait to see what this show does next. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah! Tales of Arcadia. So, technically, this is 3 TV shows. Troll Hunters, 3 Below, and Wizards. But basically, Guillermo del Toro has basically made an animated cinematic universe with 3 different shows and different characters all coming together into one story eventually, and it's all pretty good. To talk about all 3 shows separately would take way too much time, but basically to sum it all up, you got one world involving trolls, one involving aliens, and one involving wizards. They're all pretty fun shows, although if I had to pick which one was the best, Troll Hunters is the best of them all. 3 Below is still good, but it does feel like an inferior version of Symbionic Titan. Wizards is also good, but it's really short and only 10 episodes long. Despite these shortcomings though, all 3 shows still boast incredible animation for TV, cool fun characters, unique memorable worlds and stories, and it isn't afraid to go into dark territory despite being aimed directly for younger audiences. All in all, I still recommend all 3. Especially since DreamWorks is about to release a movie concluding the Tales of Arcadia RX series on Netflix later this year. That will be their first film not released in theaters since Joseph King of Dreams. Definitely worth seeing, just in my opinion. So, those are just some shows that I recommend you guys watch as opposed to what this shit was. But yeah, we're done. It's over. It's literally over now. Ever since the show premiered back in November of 2017, I never imagined it would affect my channel to this degree, with my reviews for the show being some of my most popular videos. Now, again, would I go back and change some things about those reviews? Maybe, but my thoughts about the show overall are still pretty much the same. I still don't understand why people actually like this show, as no one ever made an argument in its defense. And no, simply liking it is not enough. I mean, like what I did when I was arguing why this show sucked. But unless you can make an argument as to why you think it's good, then I'll never stop believing it's bad. It's as simple as that. But what's even the point anymore anyway? This show is over. The animators and writers have all moved on to new stuff. Hopefully Bob and Mark find a product they're better suited for. Hopefully the animators who thought this shit was okay never find work again. Ever! And I genuinely hope that the new Big Hero 6 is better than this one was. I know the bar is low, but it has a new team behind it, and is serving as a reboot, which means that, hey, anything's possible for it. Maybe I'll get the Big Hero 6 that I've been dying to see for 4 years now. Or maybe it'll be the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Only time will tell for now. As for these videos, it was fun making them, and I hope that everyone who discovered my channel through these reviews sticks around to see what I review next. Maybe something really good from Disney, or maybe something a little different. Maybe we'll see me take on a whole new challenge altogether. Oh fuck!
Heaven just knows what it was.